the editor of Pan-African Newswire, Abayomi Azikwe from the United States, to talk towards via Skype. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this time, Abayomi.
Thank you.
All right. Angela Merkel, of course, talked about quite a number of areas of cooperation with Nigeria. One of them being that they will help Nigeria in curbing migration of young men and women across the Mediterranean. What's your reaction to that?
This is an ongoing process by the European Union countries to stop migration prior to people leaving the African continent. I think it's a two-pronged strategy, offering foreign direct investment, also as a mechanism of curbing migration. There are many people who are suffering immensely, whether it's in the camps in Libya, which are the most egregious and the most well-known and covered by the international media, and also the people who are dying en route to southern, central, and eastern Europe across the Mediterranean. People are still dying every week. In Libya, people are being exploited by human traffickers into the slave labor, sex trafficking, and all types of horrendous atmosphere that exists there. She also stopped in Senegal and Ghana as well. So I think they're trying to stop this type of migration because it's causing a lot of problems in these European countries. There are right-wing parties now. The AFD is one in particular that is attempting to erode the political base of her own conservative party in Germany.
All right, well, there were some comments attributed to President Trump where he said that more than 50 years or so that the African continent gained independence, African leaders haven't been able to build good infrastructure in terms of roads, good hospitals and all of that, and so on and so forth. Is there a sense in which you agree with him on that, that it's not fair at all?
That's only part of the story. The main problem is that Africa has not been able to break its economic dependency on the former colonial powers as well as the United States. That is the underlying issue. We look at the decline in commodity prices over the last 4 years. It has negatively impacted even those African states that have been experiencing phenomenal economic growth. For example, Nigeria, Ghana, and others. The current president of Angola, João Lourenço, had visited Germany just a week and a half ago, and they too are seeking German investment, particularly in the area of naval warships. So just to say that Africa has shortcomings in regard to infrastructural development is not the complete picture. Many of these states, which were doing quite well, but when we had a precipitous drop in the price of oil, natural gas, strategic metals, and other resources, even agricultural resources, this has had a very, very profound impact on economic growth. Some countries did for a while slip into recession, for example, Nigeria as well as South Africa. So just to dismiss the trajectory of Africa, it follows a lot of the racialized comments that Trump has made in the past.
All right, well, it is a culture in this part of the world that when new administrations come in, they dislodge what had been put in place, the foundations laid by the past administrations. That's been a culture in this part of the world. I'm talking about the MOUs, the Memorandum of Understanding, signed by Germany and Nigeria. Do you think there is a sense in which a change in government might affect it?
It could, on both ends. In the United States, President Trump has attempted to overturn almost all of the domestic as well as foreign policy initiatives of the previous administration of President Barack Obama. So it's not something that's strictly confined to the African Union member states, but there is a need for consistency, particularly in regard to economic policy. If there's good economic programs that's been initiated by one administration, they should remain in place. But many of the state structures, and this is just not in Africa, but worldwide, become politicized. When a new administration comes in, they want to put their people in power, so they'll have an advantage over other rival political groupings, regional groupings. So this is clearly a problem in terms of international political economy.
All right. African News Wire editor Abayomi Azikwe, well, thank you very much indeed for talking to us this hour.
Thanks for the invitation.
All right.